Think ancient Egyptians worked 24/7 building pyramids. Think again. From paid vacations to festival seasons, these ancient workers had surprisingly modern benefits. Let's uncover the truth about work-life balance in the land of pharaohs. Let's bust a major myth right now. The pyramid builders weren't slaves chained to their work. Archaeological evidence shows they were skilled workers who received regular wages, food, and housing. These builders typically worked in rotating shifts of about 8 to 10 hours a day, with regular breaks for meals. They even had on-site medical care. Talk about workplace benefits. The workers were organized into crews of about 20-30 people, and they took pride in their work, often leaving team marks on the stones they placed. Some teams even gave themselves names like the Vigorous Gang, showing these weren't oppressed laborers, but proud craftsmen who enjoyed some serious job perks. Now, let's talk about the ancient Egyptian work week, and you might be surprised how structured it was. The Egyptians followed an 8-day work schedule, with the last day dedicated to rest and market activities. Think of it as their version of a weekend. Workers would use this time to visit local markets, spend time with family, and participate in community events. During the annual flood season of the Nile, which lasted about 3 months, construction work would largely pause. This wasn't just a break, it was a practical response to the flooding that made building work impossible. But workers didn't go unpaid during this time. Instead, they often shifted to other tasks or participated in training and planning for future projects. Now here's where ancient Egyptian life gets really interesting: their festival calendar. These weren't just simple celebrations, they were massive nationwide events that could last for days or even weeks. The biggest of these was the Opet Festival, a spectacular 24-day celebration where even pyramid construction would completely stop. Workers received paid time off, extra food rations, and special beer allowances during these festivals. Records show there were around 60 festivals throughout the year, with workers getting time off for most of them. Imagine having dozens of paid holidays. They celebrated everything from the Nile's flooding to religious events with music, dancing, feasting, and public ceremonies. These festivals weren't just fun. They were essential breaks that helped maintain social harmony and worker satisfaction. Let's explore another fascinating aspect of ancient Egyptian worker benefits: their healthcare system. Medical papyri show that workers had access to what we'd now call paid sick leave. The Edwin Smith and Ebers papyri reveal detailed records of worker injuries, treatments, and recovery periods. When builders got hurt or fell ill, they received basic wages and food rations while recovering. There were even dedicated physicians at construction sites who could write what we'd call today sick notes. These ancient doctors used a mix of practical treatments and magical spells, but they also understood the importance of rest for healing. Archaeological evidence from worker villages shows designated spaces for treating the sick, proving that healthcare wasn't just for the elite. It was a basic worker's right. Let's talk about something that might surprise you. The daily schedule of pyramid builders included regular food and beer breaks. Archaeological evidence shows workers received 4 to 5 liters of beer daily, along with bread, dried fish, and fresh vegetables. These weren't just casual snacks. They were carefully planned meals that provided the energy needed for heavy construction work. The workers ate 3 main meals, starting with breakfast at dawn, a midday lunch break, and dinner after work. And yes, those beer breaks were actually important. The beer was safer to drink than water and provided helpful carbohydrates and nutrients. The workers' villages had dedicated bakeries and breweries, showing just how seriously the Egyptians took their meal breaks. It wasn't just about keeping workers fed, it was about maintaining their health and productivity. When we look at ancient Egyptian workers' home life, it's amazing how they managed to maintain strong family connections despite their construction duties. Workers lived in purpose-built villages near construction sites, where their families could stay with them. These villages, like the one discovered at Deir el-Medina, had comfortable homes with multiple rooms, allowing workers to spend evenings with their loved ones. Archaeological evidence shows that workers' children often learned their parents' trades, creating family traditions in craftsmanship. Letters and personal items found at these sites reveal that workers regularly participated in family meals, religious ceremonies, and children's education. The Egyptians understood that happy workers meant better productivity, so they created a system that valued both work and family life. The ancient Egyptians took their religious observances seriously, and that meant plenty of time off work. Their calendar was filled with sacred days dedicated to different gods and goddesses. On these holy days, work on the pyramids and other construction projects would come to a complete halt. Major festivals like the Feast of Opet or the beautiful Feast of the Valley could last anywhere from a few days to several weeks. During these times, workers would join in ceremonies, make offerings at temples, and participate in community celebrations. The pharaohs understood that these religious breaks weren't just about honoring the gods. They helped maintain worker morale and social unity. Records show that workers received special food rations and extra beer during these religious festivals, making them eagerly anticipated events in the ancient Egyptian work calendar. Let's dig into the fascinating archaeological evidence from ancient Egyptian worker villages that proves these builders enjoyed regular time off. The remains of Deir el-Medina, a village that housed pyramid builders, tell us an amazing story. We found everything from work schedules carved in limestone to personal letters and time-off records. These artifacts show workers had private homes with cooking areas, family spaces, and even small gardens. The village had entertainment venues, markets, and gathering spots where workers spent their free time. Gaming boards, musical instruments, and craft materials found in homes prove they had plenty of leisure activities. What's really interesting is the discovery of administrative records showing official days off, including religious festivals, family events, and even personal days. Sound familiar? Let's look at how ancient Egyptians managed their time-off benefits. It was surprisingly organized. Workers used a points-based system where they earned rest credits based on their work hours. These credits could be exchanged for paid time off during festivals or personal needs. Clay tablets and papyrus records show detailed tracking of these days off, with supervisors maintaining careful logs of attendance and leave time. Workers received full rations during their approved time off, including extra portions during major festivals. They even had a system for banking overtime hours, which could be used later for extended breaks. The payment wasn't just in food. Workers also received copper tools, oils, and cloth as part of their vacation compensation. Let's compare these ancient Egyptian work benefits to what we have today. You might be surprised. In some ways, those pyramid builders had perks we'd envy. While we typically get 2 to 3 weeks of vacation annually, Egyptian workers enjoyed up to 60 festival days off, plus their regular rest days. Their healthcare system, though basic by modern standards, provided universal coverage for workers, something many countries still struggle with. Their 8-day work week might seem odd, but the regular rest day shows they understood the importance of work-life balance. Even their on-site meals and beer allowances mirror modern companies offering free cafeteria food and office perks. However, they lacked things we take for granted, like overtime pay or retirement plans. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey through ancient Egyptian work culture. If you enjoyed uncovering these surprising historical facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next historical adventure.